Hi, boys and girls. Our next book of the day is Mother Bruce. And before we read, we want to look at the things that we notice and know in our own schema. That means things we already know in our background. So when I look at the cover, I see some gooselings, I see a bear, I notice the setting of where they're at. And I kind of know gooselings, or just any baby animal, likes to be with their moms, right? Or their mamas. So it kind of almost looks like Bruce becomes a parent. So my prediction is that Bruce does become a parent, but I am wondering how or why. Why did they end up together? So in your head right now, use your schema. What are you predicting is going to happen in this story? And let's find out. Bruce was a bear who lived all by himself. He was a grump. You can see by that look on his face, he is quite a grump, isn't he? He did not like sunny days. He did not like rain. He did not like cute little animals. Oh, I do not like that cute little rabbit. Bruce only liked one thing: eggs. He collected them from all over the forest. Good morning, Mrs. Sparrow. And notice all these feathers going everywhere. What do you think that means? But Bruce didn't eat eggs raw like other bears. Instead, he cooked them into fancy recipes that he found on the internet. That's hilarious. On the internet. Like a little chef, kind of like Duck, like Max. One day Bruce came across a recipe for hard-boiled goose eggs drizzled with honey salmon sauce. So he went out to get the ingredients. First, he caught a few salmon. Then he collected honey from a local beehive. He liked to support local business, you see. Last, he went to Mrs. Goose's nest to pay her a visit. Are these eggs free-range organic? Notice how he's holding her. Look at her face. He paid her a visit. At home, Bruce prepared the eggs for hard boiling. Getting some predictions ready in your head. Starting to notice some clues of the authors, starting to make us get ready to make a little pause. But the fire in his stove fizzled, so he went out to get more wood. When Bruce came back, he was met with an unwelcome surprise. What? Pause, stop, hold up a second. What do you think this unwelcome surprise might be? So predict to yourself. I predict, or I think. What are you thinking, boys and girls? Think about what we already know in the story. adorable? But let's see what Bruce thinks. Bruce doesn't necessarily think that is cute. Bruce became the victim of mistaken identity. Ah! I love that. Becomes victim of mistaken identity. Kind of sounds like anything in great story starter right there. Bruce wanted hard-boiled eggs, not gooselings. So now what? Boys and girls, what do you predict now? Now what? He doesn't want them. So what do you think he's gonna do? What do you think the gooselings are gonna do? What a great spot to pause, stop, and go, I predict that they climb out and climb all over him. Maybe they climb up onto and into his hat. What do you guys think? Let's find out. He supposed he could settle for buttered gooselings on toast. But for some reason, he lost his appetite. Why do you think that? What happened? Why did he lose his appetite? But he does look flustered, doesn't he? So, what now? Tried something, didn't work, did it? What do you think's next? Kind of reminds me of Turkey. He had one idea, he tried it, didn't work. Bruce tried something, didn't work. So noticing those patterns, so that prediction of what happened next is kind of coming away from what the characters do and how they react to situations or what they attempt. So as we're reading our stories, let's think about what are characters doing and how are they reacting to problems or situations. And let's make a prediction. So he tried having some gooselings on toast, buttered. That didn't work. So, what do you predict he'll try next then? Bruce scooped up the little geese and stomped back to their nest. I will have to ask Mrs. Goose about her return policy. Be back in April, only to find Mrs. Goose had flown south early. Oh man. So he tried to butter 'em and eat 'em up, didn't work. He tried to return them to Mrs. Goose. That didn't work. Oh no. What do you think he's going to do next? Look at these great opportunities for predictions. Well, Bruce left the gooselings there anyway and went back home. What? So he did something. Now the gooselings are going to react. So that is a great time to make a prediction. When we watch what our characters do, how they react to something, how they think, how they're feeling, makes us predict what they're going to do next. And so we kind of think about them being little babies, right? So what would little babies do? They'd probably follow. Well, let's see. That really does happen. Mama! 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 But instead, he was followed, just like we thought. So sometimes predictions kind of stand out right away for us, and we can make those predictions to help us understand the story better. Other times we're surprised. we make those predictions and they don't always happen because the author kind of makes it a little suspenseful. Bruce was very stern and said things like, "Go away," and "I'm not your mother," and also, "I liked you better when you were eggs." Aw, poor little gooselings. They are pretty persistent, aren't they? They don't give up. So now what? Now what? I predict that Bruce maybe takes them to another bird. Maybe he tries to help find them a mother. What do you guys think? You make your prediction before I turn the page. What do you predict he's going to do next? Or the gooselings, what do you think they're going to do next? Roar! Bruce could take it no longer and became extra grumpy with them. Roar! Huh. They don't look too concerned, do they? He's roaring. They're going like, we're kind of used to you. It's kind of like a big teddy bear, isn't he? Knowing that about Bruce and knowing that about the little gooselings, let's see. Let's predict what's going to happen next. What do you think? I think well, he tried to get away and it didn't work. Gooselings always follow their mother, even if she is a he and he is a bear. Mama! Mama? It's so adorable. And so they follow. So now what? What do you think Bruce is going to do now? Do you think he's going to eat him? Think he's going to give him away? Let's find out. What's he do? Bruce was stuck with them. Oh, one of my favorite pages. That is so adorable. He tried to make the best of it. And I know, boys and girls, that we are talking about predictions, but I really couldn't resist noticing something here. Noticing this big change in Bruce. Look at him. He's got swimmies on. He's going to play with them. Says he tried to make the best of it. Something's changing here with him and in his heart. I kind of see his becoming more of a growth mindset and maybe a tad bit less grumpy. Just a tad bit. I bet you the gooselings had something to do with that change in his heart and in his mind. It was hard work. Oh my goodness. Wow. He is kind of like a parent. This does kind of confirm my prediction a little bit. Because parents entertain us, don't they? They help us to be creative. They take us places. They look out for us. Man, and Bruce is doing that, isn't he? And it sure is hard work, taking care of some babies. But, ew, yuck. And this is one of my favorites too. I love this. It's so adorable. Look at him napping. Baby sleep, parents sleep. Parents and newborns, right? Cute. But time goes on. And these annoying baby geese become stubborn teenage geese. And so the seasons passed, and Bruce watched these pesky gooselings grow older, annoying, stubborn, now teenage geese, and now boring adult geese. Just like our parents and your parents, right? Watching us grow up. And eventually, we kind of leave, don't we? It's kind of like we kind of fly away. We go to college, or we get a job, or we visit somewhere. So they're adult geese now. And one fall afternoon, Bruce saw other goose families flying south. Finally, he'd be rid of those geese, and he could take a long winter nap. What do you think? Think about what you know and notice. What do you predict will happen next? So I think I predict. What do you think? Bruce explained migration and what that meant and what the other geese do. Think that'll work? But they didn't listen. Look, they're still around in the winter. Look at all their winter outfits. So they're pretty cute. Bruce needed the geese to leave, so he got creative. Check this out. Oh my goodness. Do you think that's gonna work, boys and girls? Do you think that's gonna keep his geese away? His grown gooselings? I predict no. Only because if I were in their shoes, I'd be having some fun. I'd be like, let's do that again. Daddy, let's do that again. But maybe it will. Because I'm not one of those gooselings now, am I? Nothing worked. The geese, my goodness, would not leave Bruce. They sure love their daddy. They sure love their mother Bruce, don't they? I think it's awesome. Big sigh from Bruce. Right from the very beginning, they loved on him, didn't they? I love it. So Bruce decided to pack some bags and take his geese into town. Where's he taking them? And they boarded a bus. Where are they going? Going on some vacay? I don't know. Maybe he's going to put them on a bus and take them somewhere and leave them so he can come back and take a big, long winter nap. What do you think? Predict. I think. And they migrated to Miami. So he did get his nap. But he's doing it where they do it. And here are the other siblings. Here. Now every winter, Bruce and his geese head south together. They laze about at the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice-cold lemonade while Bruce dreams of new recipes. Recipes that don't hatch. Oh, I love that. I love that ending. Oh, not the ending. That is a cool ending. Mama, I love it. The author leaves us with a prediction, just like he gave us a prediction to start off the story. Like almost like a little cliffhanger. What do you predict here? Mama. So boys and girls, while you're reading today, work really hard to stop and pause and think and make some predictions while you're reading. It helps you understand your story better. It helps you to be more engaged while you're reading. And it makes us think about the author. Happy reading.